Good afternoon and a warm welcome to live day one coverage from the 2022 Nexen SaintNine Masters. Here at beautiful Gimhae Gaya Country Club, about 18 kilometers west of Busan, for this, the third event in the 2022 KLPGA Tour season. Im Jinhee and Park Ji-young already picking up wins so far this year. This is what your leaderboard looks like at this stage. Jo Hyo-min, So Yi-bin and Lee So-mi carding 66s in the morning rounds to set the pace at 6 under par. The same score that led after 18 holes last year. The weather conditions set fair. Cool 14 degrees. There's been a touch of rain already today, but not too much breeze to speak of. Fingers crossed the weather is set fair for the rest of this afternoon and we can get all 144 players safely in the clubhouse for day one. Timothy Lowe here, good to have your company this Thursday afternoon. This is OG Hyun, putting for a birdie, went out in one of about 37 outward half, and she's not going to find a birdie there. 5-10. Victories, including one last year at the Jeju Samdasu Masters. Welcome return to form for OG Hyun, but languishing at 1 over par for the championship. Yi-won on an absolute scorcher this afternoon, but unable to find a birdie there. Still 4 under par. Should she pop that one in, still leaves her 2 shots off the pace. Ji-han-so, 54-hole tournament specialist, putting up the hill for birdie here at the 10th. Just trickled to her right. Very damp conditions here at Gimhae Gaya, but that's nicely holed for Ji-han-so. It's been a colourful scorecard. There's 3 straight bogeys, 6 through 8. Dampening the day a touch, but it doesn't wipe the smile off the affable South Korean's face. Young still yet to win on the KLPGA Tour, had a great finish to 2021. Has to take it a 3 under. Rolling the ball very nicely is Ga-young. That's a 3rd unanswered birdie of the day. Sits on the fringes of the top 10 as things stand. So to get into red figures. Second shot into 12, and it's going to result in a birdie 3. It's a 3rd on the bounce after a frustrating outward half of 38. Safely done. Putter safely handed back to the caddy. Now, this clean up for Yi-won. Oh, no. It's really not what you want to see when you've got such a nice round going along. What a big piece of the hole, but spins out for the Dream Tour graduate. Slips back to 3 under still. 6 holes to play, plenty of time. Lee Jung. Shot to 10th. Phenomenal player. Loved watching her last season. Hit shots like that. Finished 2nd on the points list and the money list to runaway winner Park Min-ji. Just a touch under 1 billion Korean won in the 2021 season banked for that 21-year-old. Lee Jung-min got that 8th win on the KLPGA Tour at the Korea Championship towards the end of last season. 49 meters left. The only tournament played in the modified Stableford format on the KLPGA Tour. Very nicely done there, judging the spin beautifully, keeping that underneath the hole. So important out here at Gimhae Gaya. Leave yourself the uphill putts that you can be aggressive with. Som. Run here, 3 straight birdies to start her back 9. This her tee shot to the 13th, pin smack dab in the middle of the green. And that is going to be a very good look for a fourth straight birdie for Ma. Let's have a look at this par 5 10th hole. The players will start from way up high. It's an elevated tee shot that greets the players. Downhill all the way, trouble up the right. You do not want to go there. It's some 30 meters of elevation. The players will be teeing off downhill too. 240 to carry the trap on the right. There's a little speed shoot. If they can get it past that top of the hill, you need to get another 20, 30 yards of run. But in conditions, in damp conditions like what faced the players this Thursday afternoon, you don't feel anyone's going to be able to get home in two. It's playing a touch under its par. 19 birdies it's given up already today. We're using the green on the right. So many greens here in South Korea. So many courses, I should say, offer double greens for the summer and winter months. Green on the right, though, is slightly elevated above the level of the fairway. It's guarded by a pair of bunkers, left and right. The pin today, 21 from the front and just 8 from the left, tucked behind a little shoulder. Second shots now for our featured groups this afternoon. Last week's winner, Park Ji-young, sung very nicely. Got that title at the Eddie Heel. 26-year-old, fourth career win. Turned pro all the way back in 2014, did Ji-young. This up to the bottom of the hill. Keep it in the fairway. She's tugged that a fraction. It's just gonna stay in the left half of the fairway. That's fine. No problems at all. Park Min-ji. What the season she had. Record-breaking 6 wins. 1.2 billion Korean won banked. It all started right here at Gimhae Gaya. And she triumphed in a 2-hole playoff against Jang Hana. First of those 6 wins. Hee-jung, so close to winning the BMW Ladies Championship. Co-sanctioned event with the LPGA Tour last year, just pipped by current world number 1 Jin Young Ko at that event. Just to get to 3 under, don't think it's going to turn back. It's a good positive stroke. That's what you like to see from Hee-jung. When they miss, they always feel like they have a chance to go. You don't see her dying many putts at the front edge. Very positive and aggressive putter. She remains 2 under par. Min, one of many players on the ladies' game utilizing the claw grip with the putter. Just carried a fraction too much heat. It looked like it was going to be left, but it certainly snapped back quite hard. A wonderful third shot goes unrewarded. For Jung Min, you see the third player in that group, current leader in the point standings, Yoo Hae-ran. 2 titles last year for Yoo Hae-ran. Very excited to watch her progress this week. So 10 straight bars to open her campaign this week at Gimhae Gaya for Lee Jung-min. Now for 4 in a row for Ma Da-som. I tell you what, oh, gotta hit it. Just a fraction shy. And you see that putt from Ma Da-som. You think about if that was Lim Hee-jung, that would have at least gone past the hole, given itself a chance. But a par does her score no damage. She remains at 1 under. The final player in this featured afternoon group, Jang Soo-yeon. going to get a fair amount of release and just about threaten the front edge. That's okay. She's got plenty of room to play with, even though she is pitching out of this left rough. Here for Lee Ka-young at 11, but that one hit the brakes a little quick. Wants to play off at the Kolmona Park Open last year to Kim Hae Rim. Play of her talent, surely just a matter of time before she collects that first victory on the KLPGA Tour. Back to 10. Park Ji-young. Lady's very good with wedge in hand. 80 meters left. Fraction right if you can manage. Oh, or clatter it off the flagstick. What a shot there from Park Ji-young. A little bit unlucky, and she knows it. Clattered off that flagstick, perhaps just taking a little spin off that. You feel that doesn't hit the pin. It takes one bounce and sort of spins back next to the hole. That's fine. You take the good and the bad. She still has a birdie opportunity. Now Minji dominantly moves her ball right to left, even with these pitches. Look at that. Simply sensational from Park Min-ji. Looking to go back to back here. That Kim Hae Gaya. Ji-han Sol. Birdie start to her inward half. A little wobble off the putter face, and you feel that may have caused that to just veer offline. And last year at the E1 Charity Open, an emotional victory. Popular player is Ji-han Sol. Still yet to win a 72-hole event. Could this be her week? It's only early doors. Level pass, 6 back. Fancy your chances to get this one up and down. Fairly straightforward pitch. Everything kicks from left to right. Stud it into that bank. Here it comes. Here it comes. Oh, goodness me. Well, that was traveling with some pace. She's probably thankful the flagstick got in the way for Jang Soo-yeon. God, that flagstick's got a workout from this group here on the 10th. Look at that. Full whack. Clatters into it. And it doesn't drop. And it doesn't roll too far past. It'll be a welcome sight for Jang Soo-yeon, who hasn't had the best of opening days here at the Nexen SaintNine Masters. Left to rider for Oh Ji-hyun to get back to level par. Wow. How was that through the break? She's one of those players that when she's healthy, you feel she could contend week in, week out with her game. Struggled with some back issues in the second half of last season. It's just good to see her healthy and playing nicely again. Park Ji-young, that third shot really deserves a birdie. Come on, Ji-young. Fraction outside the right edge. Gotta be positive with this. These dad greens. Is nicely holed for Park Ji-young. So a birdie 4 at the 10th. Gonna move her into red figures. Just a little tiddler. It'll get your attention. It's that right edge to get to 2 under. Well done. Good putt. Birdie of her day takes her inside the top 20. tidy up for her 4. Okay. Nicely done for Park Min-ji. Take her back to level par for the championship. A couple of frustrating bogeys there around 8 and 9. Gets back amongst the birdies with one there at the 10th now. Jump. Downhill second shot to this 11th hole. Only 84 meters left. A huge tee shot. Unusually sloppy. Hee-jung. Still, it's a makeable chip. Don't put it past her to roll that one in. KB Star Financial Championship back in 2019. Let's have a look at the par 4 11th. It's only 387 meters, but this is where Jung Hana lost the championship in the final round last season. It sweeps around from right to left. The fairway is only 25 meters wide between the pair of bunkers. See a lot of players on drier days taking 3-wood trying to start it at that far right trap, which shouldn't bother the players at 260 meters, and try and rope it round with a little bit of a draw. If you catch that downhill slope, you will get another 40 odd yards of run, and you'll play to the right green, which is elevated like the 10th. By a deep cavernous bunker on the right-hand side. That pin today cut in the front right section, 12 paces from the front and just 7 from the right. But as far as birdie opportunities go, it's a pretty good one if you can find the fairway. 4's all round at the 10th for this featured group. Park Ji-young with driver. She's got to look up at that left trap, try and fly it over at 235. Golf swing, and there we are. There's that speed shot I was talking about, and look at that go. Here it comes. Keep on trucking. Gosh, that's an enormous tee shot from Park Ji-young. Certainly the longest I've seen this afternoon. She's only going to have about 60 odd meters left. Don't even think she knows how far that's gone. Soo-yeon. Out with the driver. Doesn't quite hit it as far as Park Ji-young. Still has the firepower to fly that left trap. Looking mildly concerned. Oh, but that's all right. Just got over the trap, and that too will catch the downhill slope, although just trickling into the right-hand rough. No problem, not much rough to speak of here on the Nakdong 9. Quickly up to the green, and Hee-jung electing to putt this one, which is an interesting choice for a player with her short game prowess. Very smoothly through the fringe. Lovely roll again from Hee-jung. Just the par. One of several players in the modern game to use triple track technology on their golf balls, as it helps them to line up the ball better. ENG with driver. It's one of those holes that really suits her right. Likes to move the ball right to left, but has she hung this a fraction right? Okay, it's going to end up where Jang Soo-yeon's ball is. There it is. Just scuttles on past, and, well, ENG might have some overhanging branches to contend with. We'll see when she gets up there. Third event of the 2022 KLPGA Tour season. What a success 2021 was, and it's wonderful to be back here at Gimhae Gaya for the Nexen SaintNine Masters. Seemed like a lifetime ago when we saw Park Sun-hyun and that lady, Min Sun 5 lift trophies But if you're going to find a place to get across the line like Lee So-young did back in 2019, this isn't a bad place to do it. Imhei Gaia. It's a great test of golf. Challenges some of the best female professionals in South Korea. It's been a wonderful springboard to so many wonderful seasons, including the one that we just saw in 2021 from that lady, the 2021 champion, Park Min-ji. Her first of 6 victories in what was a watershed 2021 for the 22-year-old. Well, who's it going to be this year? Who's your money on? Sung-hyun back in 2016, Kim Min-sun 5 in 2017, So-young in 2018, and of course Park Min-ji last year. Although the defending champion, is going to be stymied by some trees just up the right-hand side. It will be Jang Soo-yeon first to play. And can she see the pin? Just about. On a slight downhill line, there's that one branch that's going to be right around where her ball flight should be. Still, there's tons of green to the left. You don't have to take that branch on, especially not on a Thursday. Only 108 meters left. Sensible play, 25 feet left. Take your chances trying to hold the putt there. Looking well up to the left. I like this play. Smart decision from Soo-yeon. Took off a little bit further right than I thought it was going to. I don't think she struck that as crisply as she would have liked. It'll scuttle through to the back edge of the green, but it's certainly no gimme up and down now. Park Min-ji, 15 yards closer, but she's also a couple of yards further right. It looks like she's got a fairly lofted club. You can't quite pick it up on the cameras, but that is a rather severe downslope that she's playing off of. And she's close enough to that first tree, that first overhanging branch. It should be all right for her. And the line's going to help keep it under that branch, have enough loft, get it over the next set of trees. Still has to be looking left here. Do not want to be in that front right bunker. Didn't clip anything. And she's played that to perfection. Excellently judged by Park Min-ji. So good thinking there from the defending champ. Now, Park Ji-young, huge tee shot. Goodness me, look at what she has left. Still a flick in. No tree trouble at all. This is pretty much a green light pin. Great chance for a birdie here. 83 yards. Stuck it close from 80 on the last. Can she do it from 83 here? Oh, she certainly can. She is dialed in this afternoon. Just west of Busan. That's another cracking wedge shot from last week's champion, Park Ji-young. City of Gimhae crowned a wonderful champion in Park Min-ji last year, who's going to leave the province of Gyeongsang with the 2022 Nexen SaintNine Masters Championship. It's 3 at the top here on day 1. this for Zhang Suyon from the back edge of 11. Right. Downhill all the way, but that's very nicely judged. There's been a fair amount of rainfall the last couple of hours here in the city of Gimhae. As long as there's no electrical activity overhead, you should be able to confidently get day one in the books. Suyon, nicely done. Little tap in, no problems. That'll keep her at 2 under par. Jump ahead to this birdie opportunity for Lee Hee-won. After that 3-putt at 13, how bold does she be at 14? And okay, rolls that by. There'll be some thoughts going through her head from that range, you feel. Now, ENG gave that hole a bit of a scare, but it remains above ground. Happy thoughts, Hee-won. Happy thoughts. Okay, confidently rattled into the back of the cup for Lee Hee-won. Remains inside the top 10. 3 under par. Ji Han-sol. 12. It's starting to pick up a bit. It's going to be a fairly slow putt putting into the wind on these soft greens. I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. That is a very poor putt from Ji Han-sol. Par not secured yet. She's currently at 1 over par. Projected just outside the cut mark, which will come tomorrow afternoon. Yeah. That was all that was left for Park Ji-young to collect yet another birdie. Winner of the Mediheal Championship last week. Off to a solid start Thursday afternoon at the Nexen SaintNine Masters. ENG for her part. So solid from that range all throughout the last 14 months or so. She's a very patient player, as Park Min-ji. Even par, 6 off the base. So they'll head up to the uphill par 4-12, stretches out to 364 yards and just a pair of bunkers up the right-hand side of the fairway to worry about for the players. Fairway does kick ever so slightly from right to left. Most of the players are going to be right around that zone, leaving them, say, anything from a 9-iron to a 6-iron for the shorter hitters. The green that we're using is the one on the right-hand side, guarded by a lone bunker short right of the green, which is a bit of an optical illusion because there is a good 10 yards of dead ground between the edge of that trap and the edge of the green. The pins in the on 12 cut in the front section, 9 from the front and just 7 from the left. This is always the case when we come to Gimhae Gaya. Good driving is an absolute premium. Park Ji-young now. It's a good smooth swing, and it's going to get a little help from that slope. Not going to make it all the way back down to the fairway. Now that's all right. No real trouble there for Ji-young. Up to the green, and Ga-young, yet another birdie, can get within 2. It looked good. It remains above ground for Lee Ga-young. Said she's getting more and more used to being in contention in the final groups. And it's just going to be a matter of time. You keep knocking on that door, at some point it's going to open up for you. Ga-young will remain at 3 under par. Suyon. nicely placed up the left-hand side. That's that little hump I was talking about that kicks balls into the left rough. If you do thread it down the left half of the fairway, that spot. Now Minji, she's got to be looking at the traps up the right-hand side with her little draw. A much better swing than the one she put on her last tee shot. And that is a much better result. Excellent position for the defending champion here at the uphill 12. Park Sung-hyun's single season money record last year with a 1.3 billion Korean won total. That was some performance. And well, Lim Hee-jung, look back down the history of seasons of the KLPGA Tour, her total of 990 million Korean won, would have won all but 4 of them. That's what a year she had. Hit it, hit it. Oh, well done. There's another dangerous name inching her way up the leaderboard Thursday afternoon in the rain. It comes in the form of Lim Hee-jung. Runner-up on the money list and points list last year. Runner-up on the Rookie of the Year race back in 2019, won by Cho Ah-yan. Make no mistake, she is a world-class golfer. Lim Hee-jung. Is this the year that Hee-jung finally ascends to the top of the Korean women's game? A victory here at Gimhae-gaya, well, it would go a long way to that cause. left rough. Ji Young into an uphill green. That ball sitting down slightly. Ideally, want to land this a couple of yards short, have it bounce up, something like that. Even that, she landed that ball a good 15 yards short of the green. It still scampers on. So difficult to judge your distances coming to an elevated target out of wet, heavy rough. She's done well there. Just has some 40 feet or so for a birdie. Now it's a slightly different problem for Soo Yeon. She's got an uphill lie. 119, playing this elevated green. Uses a fall back, hang that club face right, leak it out in that trap. But she makes a very good fist of it from there. Okay. Scuttles on another 10, 15 feet. She'll have an outside chance for a birdie 3. ENG, A1 position, flat lie, right half of the fairway. Can be aggressive with this, compresses the ball very nicely, can get loads of spin on it, and she's done just that. Done with another yard or two of bounce, but as far as birdie opportunities go, it's the easiest one in this featured group. Now, E1 on the 15th from 119. It's cut tight to the left edge of the green. And that needs to keep going. It needs to keep going. Okay. Tidy shot. 20 feet or so from the clubhouse target. Set at 6 under par by 3 players, including Lee So-mi. Here's Ma. He's dropped the shot, so back at level par. 101 left. Late angle in. And that is a very nicely played shot. So Ma So-yeon has an opportunity to move back into red figures once more. Remember, went out in 2 over par 38. Back to the 13th and Lee Jung-min. Big tie in here. First hole-in-one of the 2021 season on this hole last year from Julie Kim, en route to a top 3 finish. And that one would have looked very good to Lee Jung-min in the air. 8 career titles on the KLPGA Tour for Jung-min. Park Ji-young doing his best to keep her dry. Good positive putt. It's a very nice putt from Park Ji-young. Again, so hard to convince yourself to hit those putts hard enough, especially when you've played a couple of practice rounds here. You've been coming to Kim Hae-gai as long as Park Ji-young has. You know that putt's downhill, but with these conditions and into the breeze, just keep that putt ahead accelerating through the ball. So a par. First of the back 9 for Ji-young. Remains 2 under. Tied with this lady. Could just drift to her right. Needs to hurry. Needs to hurry. Losing steam. Peels off to the right. The par not going to do any damages to her scorecard. She remains 2 under. I say it time and time again. These golf tournaments, you can't win the championship on a Thursday, but you can certainly lose it. Jang Soo-yeon and Park Ji-young are both in very fine spots, as is this lady. You want to get back to 4 under. Nope, never hit it. Touch tentative. That putt has been a touch bulky since she made the back 9. Just off the right edge of the green here. So Yun Jung. Okay. Not too bad. couple of times in 2021, did Yun Jong. The understatement if you're talking about the year that Park Min-ji had. Right to left to get to red figures. Wasn't that far outside the right edge. A bit of a ho-hum day for Park Min-ji. So many questions, so many expectations on her shoulders coming into 2022 after that stellar 2021 campaign. Now Ma to get back to 1 under. Well done. So another birdie will move Da Som back to red figures. Picks up that shot she dropped back at 14. 3 holes to play. 3 under par for her back 9. Taking a bit of time on this. There's E1. Okay, no problems. She's a little bit quicker in 2022 on the greens. It has a very brisk routine. It just looks a fraction quicker. Not a bad thing, just an observation. Min-ji remains level par. Front edge of the green here. Outside chance to get to 4 under, but that needs to move. That needs to move. Yeah, nicely judged from Hee Jeong. Remarkably consistent player. He's this 21-year-old. He's with a wealth of experience and a boatload of confidence. Okay, nicely done. Waiting patiently back on the team group of Park Ji-young, Jang Soo-yeon. Hye-ran, first look at Big Hye-ran this afternoon. Uphill putt to get to 4 under. Not going to be for Hye-ran. Inside the top 20 in the Rolex rankings at the end of 2020, and really struggled in the opening half of the 2021 season. Then started to gain some confidence, got back in the winner's circle, picked up 2 titles. Min-ji. 10 career titles. Look how many of them came last year. Just the 6. For a first birdie of the day for Lee Jung-min. Outside left edge. Into the middle of the cup. So scratch a 2 on the scorecard of Lee Jung-min at the 13th. 8-time champion goes to 1 under par. Let's have a look at this par 3 13th, and it is a beauty. It's only 144 meters. If you get a little bit careless, goodness me, the junk on the right-hand side of the green will come into play. That bunker on the right, not really going to bother the best players in the ladies' game in South Korea. And the pin today, a very generous middle of the green, 10 paces from the left edge and 18 from the front. See there the light blue colors indicating the low section of the green. So if you want to leave yourself a good birdie opportunity, you want to look just short right of that hole location, somewhere where Lee Jung-min was putting from. Ji-young. Should be no more than 8 iron for her. Let's go with that club. Tugs it a fraction left. That's okay. I always notice with these top lady professionals and even the men professionals, their misses, particularly with mid-short iron in hand, aren't going to be too far off the edge of the green. Gee, I was probably thinking that was one of the worst iron swings she's made of the day, and she's still 35, 40 feet away. It's a very interesting pre-shot routine that Leon's got here. She rehearses sort of over the ball. Into this green if you can, and use that slope. Comes up just a fraction short as well. I like greens that kick from left to right as a draw player. Hit into that slope. Should be an 8-iron. Seven-iron as well. Like the two playing partners, still a good club shot. So perhaps the heavy air and the conditions just giving the players something to think about as far as distance control goes, but 3 balls safely on the green at the par 3 13th for this afternoon's featured group. Conditions have been tricky here on the opening day of the 2022 Nexen SaintNine Masters. Still no change at the top. It's 3 at 6 under par. one coverage from the Nexen SaintNine Masters. Rolling along here at the Gimhae-Gaya Golf Club. Last week's winner, Park Ji-young. Left to righter from long range for birdie here at the 13th. Is it going to get there? No, it's not. Purses the lips in frustration, but you can't expect to make many putts from outside of 40 feet. She knows that. Still doesn't dampen the disappointment, though. Now to 16. Third shot of Lee Yu-won. 39 left to this long par 5. Top mix from left to right. Trouble frames the left half, and a bit unlucky. That one took a little skip. Doesn't quite get that grab with the second bounce, but it gives her a birdie opportunity to get to 4 under. This is a birdie opportunity for Jang Soo-yeon at 13 to get to 3 under. So good in staring down Lee So-mi at the season opening Lotte Rent-A-Car Ladies Open. She, like Park Ji-young, can't find a 2 there. It's never easy playing in conditions like these. Ji-hyun had a bit of a struggle today, currently 1 over. This to stay at that mark, and oh no. Ji-hyun, 7-time KLPGA Tour titleist. Waited 5 years for that 7th title. Seen that last year's Jeju Samdasu Masters. And it's been a sluggish start at Gimhae-Gaya. Birdie her opening hole, hasn't had a circle on the card since, and it looks like that rain is really starting to come down on the players at this stage of the afternoon. Park Min-ji, well, she knows what this does. We know what it does. Oh, but she's gone racing that one past. I don't think she's lost her turn. Talk about those conditions I was mentioning earlier. It's just so difficult for these players to try to stay focused, because not only are you tackling a golf course as demanding as Gimhae-Gaya, the outward half on the Sinyo 9 and the Nakdong 9 on the inward half, but you're also trying to keep yourself dry, your grips dry, your glove dry, your hands dry, your equipment dry. Factor in humidity, the effect the rain's going to have, and not only your ball, your distance control, and even on the greens. A lot of players think, a lot of people think that the greens slow up when they're wet. That is true at sometimes, but sometimes that ball just hits a little bit of moisture in aquaplanes. Something like that. Park Min-ji, another unforced error, another bogey. And all of a sudden, the defending champion, 1 over par. Tomorrow afternoon, top 60 players and ties will tee it up for the weekend rounds at Gimhae-Gaya. Lee-jung, long way back at the long par 4, 14th. Okay, just skips it over that trap. Certainly a lot better than being in it for Hee-jung. Always unnerving when you see your playing partner 3-whack it. So Ji-young for her part. Inside left edge. Stay positive. Yes, well done. It's hard to try to forget what you see in front of you, especially from your playing partner, especially if it's Park Min-ji. Jang Soo-yeon. Shouldn't be a problem. Okay. Looked a little bit nervy. But she'll pick it out of the middle of the cup and remain at 2 under par. Now, Yoo Hae-ran. Her length advantage really is something she can lean on. 128 left. Certainly will be able to get some check on this ball. Okay, just trickles onto the back edge for Heiran. The best rounds being put together in the afternoon wave. 3 under par from the likes of Ga Young, Heiran. That birdie putt going to come up just short for Seo Yun Jung. Pace of play has been rather good this season. That's always nice to see. The girls are really skating about the golf course here on day one. Play really is a killer. Not only in the professional game, but in the game of golf. Yoo Ji-hyun. Clubhouse couldn't come quickly enough for Ji-hyun. The longest player. Very accurate. Concern here. Steady, steady. Okay. Just gets a piece of the fairway on the right-hand side. Now a chance to get to 4 under par. Yi Won. Tentative stroke. You just get the sense she was putting a really good round together. I think that 3 putt, that 12, just derailed the confidence with the flat stick a bit. Haven't really seen a putt threaten the cup since. Back to 14. Park Ji-young. The 14th, but it's a monstrously long one at 370 meters in these conditions. Finding the fairway absolutely critical. That's just about going to do that for Park Ji-young. Awfully close to the ball, just past it. Not something you see every day from Jang Soo-yeon, but like we said, very effective. Won twice back in 2016 and then waited 6 long years before victory number 3 that came just 3 weeks ago at Sky Hill on Jeju Island. Overly thrilled with that. That's all right. Just in the first cut of rough. The right hand side for Soo-yeon. Now Lee Jung-min chipping from the left edge of 14. You're going to miss this 14th green. Short left isn't a bad spot to be, but the putter's going to be tested for Jang Soo-yeon. Yet to Lee Jung-min, beg your pardon, yet to drop a shot today. Jung-min, now Min-ji. Find some traction on 14. It's off to a good start. The left center of the fairway, top 5 in 4 major statistical categories last season. Park Min-ji, now Hee-jung. Short of the green, fairly straightforward pitch. Executes it to perfection from the 21-year-old. No wonder she's got a big smile on her face. When the conditions get tough, your attitude is key. A woe is me attitude is not going to get the job done in sort of damp and straining conditions like these. Everyone's got to deal with the same thing. Hee-jung, Park Min-ji, even Lee Yi-won. They've all got to tee it up in the rain. Control is your mind, and that's a good par for Yi-won. 2 holes to play, 3 under par, the par 3 17th and the closing par 4 18th to go for her. Now Heiran on player to hit this 14th green in this group. That one not high enough. And here, Park Min-ji on the hole before Heyran, giving herself a little nerve-jangling 5-footer. Ahead to OG here. Fairway 50. Turn one left. Nice angle to this middle left hole location for Ji Hyun. Yeah, that's more like it from OG Hyun. Beautifully played. Important momentum putt this is for a par to keep the bogeys off the scorecard for Lee Jung-min. Moisture between the ball and the club face. Oh, it's a terrible feeling in golf. You hit a putt, you know it's got no chance of going in. Frustration. Level par. Still lots of golf to play this week and lots of money to play for. 800 million Korean won prize purse with 144 million going the way of the champion. Yoo Hae-ran was on a streak of 24 straight cuts made since turning professional when she came to Gimhae Gaya 12 months ago. First ever missed cut as a pro came at this course last year. This for par. The way that she's been playing the last 8 months or so, you don't feel like history is going to repeat itself this week. 3 straight birdies round the turn, clean scorecard, and it will stay clean after that nice 5-footer for Hae-ran. Getting this care and attention, as you would. You've just seen Lee Jung-min miss. Double this distance. And like Park Min-ji, she's just got a look about her when she gets over anything inside of 6 feet. You back her to make it pretty much 10 times out of 10. And you didn't let me down there. That's a nice up and down from Lim Hee-jung. Hae-ran remains at 3 under par. Forecast, the way that's set for tomorrow, you feel they're going to be able to take advantage of better conditions Friday morning. Green clear. ENG first to strike. And the hole cut in the front right. Still club out. Afford to come up short here. Oh, that's just what she's done. I think that was moisture. Min-ji might have just been a touch low on the face. That's no cakewalk of a bunker shot. Now, Soo-yeon looks to have drawn the better of the two lies in the right rough. Here on 14. Got to be careful. Anything just left of the pin and past it will do. Four iron, and that one's definitely hitting left and in a hurry. Again, we said it in the group ahead. Short left on 14, especially with where the hole is cut. Not a terrible spot. Jang Soo-yeon thinking clearly. You can execute well, but if you're not thinking clearly, you're not going to score. Something that this lady did very nicely last week. Ji-young, like Min-ji, with a hybrid. higher in the air than Zhang Suyon did with a 4-iron. Ooh. Well, it's carried the trap. It should just be in that little bit of dead ground between the edge of the trap and the front edge of the green that we saw Lin Hee-jung in earlier. So that's okay for Park Ji-young. Now, up to the 17th, the penultimate hole here at Gimhae Gaya. Lee Yi-won with a 5-iron from 158. Kicks from right to left. Come on down. Down you come. Down you come. Yeah, nicely played shot. She'll take that every single day of the week. Jihan Sol now. A chance to get back to level par here at the 15th. From right to left. Needs to go. Needs to go. Oh, good for pace. Jihan Sol will stay at 1 over par. You saw the balls in close there of Oh Ji-hyun and Lee Ga-young. Birdie opportunities to come for the pair of them. Ga-young just dropping a shot on the previous hole, so she's back at 2 under. 3 shots ahead of this lady, Jihan Sol, at 1 over par. Come on, Ji-hyun. Wonderful second shot. Really is the easier of the 2 putts here. Just past pin high, right side of the cup. The right-handed golfers love a sort of right edge, right outside putt, especially up the hill. Just be nice and aggressive. Let that putter swing freely and pick it out of the hole. Something just like that. All right, a birdie for Oh Ji-hyun. Moves her to 1 over par. There's a bit of frustration, but there's a second red number on the card. Sylvian Jung. Long way back. Must have got into trouble off the tee. Didn't quite get onto her left side there. Gets a fortuitous kick off the downslope of the trap, and I'm not sure she knows that that's about 25 feet short left from way back in the fairway, but she'll be pleased when she gets up there. Look at this for Park Min-ji. Long bunker shot. Got to play this with speed and conviction. She lacked both. The problems continue for last year's points and order of merit champion. Min-ji looking to drop at least 1 shot here at 14. Having a very different day is Yoo-hae Ran, who's cruising around at 3 under par. Driver, plenty of club for Hae-ran. Up the right-hand side of this hole's okay. That's up the left half. All right, but most importantly, that's in the fairway. Yeah. Plenty of green to work with. Zhang Suyon. That short. That's going to release up nicely. Felt should have landed that just a yard on the green, not a yard short of it. That's that softer fairway, just taking the sting out of that ball. Still inside of 8 feet underneath the hole. That's fine. Yeah. Terrific tee shot into 17. You feel this is a wonderful chance for a 2 here for Lee Yi-won. Tell you what. Oh, just peels off to the left-hand side. A harmless par. She'll head to 18T at 3 under. Currently, one of those players putting together the best afternoon score this Thursday in the city of Gimhae. 3 under par. 1 hole left to play. Park Ji-young. This is makeable, you know. Nice uphill lie. Stab it, let it release out. Oh, gave it a run. Staying aggressive, and you like to see that. Gotta 4.5, 5 footer remaining to keep her at 2 under par. Yeah, Hee Jung. Right half of the fairway would be ideal. And right down the middle goes Lim Hee Jung. Fourth shot now at 14 for Minji. Okay. Good technique there. Played that with lots of speed, even from short range. So that ball sticks to the club face, touches most of the grooves. You get lots of spin that way, but it takes a lot of practice and a lot of conviction. You have that much acceleration with a short shot. Now, former champion Lee So-young, her third shot into 16. She's played a beauty, very nicely done from 132. The 2018 champion. So back to last week's winner, Park Ji-young, with a little bit more work than she was hoping for, you feel. But again, that just gives you an insight into a state of mind. She fancied her chances trying to make that chip. Obviously playing with a lot of confidence is Ji-young. But this, and we talked about Oh Ji-hyun's putt a couple of moments ago, that right to left or up the hill, how it fills right-handers with confidence. These are the putts that keep right-handers up at night. Little downhill left-right sliders. It's only a good inside of 6 feet. Just left edge at most, you feel, for Ji-young. Yeah, well done. That's when you know you're playing with confidence. You're rolling those left to right sliders for par with ease. So a nice up and down will keep Park Ji-young 2 under par in a share of 21st right now. Hee Jung hold ahead on 15. The aggressive 129, trying to trap a little draw in there. This is going to be good. Just carrying a fraction too much pace, but that's a pretty good shot from Lim Hee Jung, and it's yet another look for birdie that would take her back to 4 under par. Now, Hey Run also coming out the fairway, but coming out the left half of the fairway. She's got to cover a little bit more of that left shoulder of the green. She'll be pitching on a downslope. Hard to get this one really close. Trying to hold that club face open, get as much elevation as she can on it. There it is. Just couldn't really hit the shot that Lim Hee Jung did, but made a very good effort there. And there are a couple of birdie putts to come for the pair of them. This for par for Soo-yeon at 14. Yeah. Well done. Avoids the fate that befell the last player to come up short left of the 14th green. Jang Soo-yeon will stay at 2 under. Park Min-ji, and who'd have scripted this? She's got this to slip to 2 over par. Just 4 holes left to play. Okay. It's safely in, but it's a 4th bogey of the day for the defending champion. You know what she's thinking? Find a birdie, maybe 2 coming in, 1 over par, with 54 holes theoretically to play. Certainly not out of it. But the defending champion languishing at 2 over par. The lead, the pace set by 3 players already with feet up in the clubhouse. 3 66ers lead the way here on day 1 at the Nexen SaintNine Masters. Let's have a look at the par 4 15. Much like the 12th, it plays all uphill, and it's a bit of a claustrophobic tee shot, this. Well, psychologically anyway. You play through a chute of trees, much like the 18th at Augusta National. But the fairway is fairly generous, and it does kick from left to right if you do tug it a fraction. Only the pair of bunkers at the right-hand side to worry about for the players. Ideally, with today's hole location, keep it up the right-hand side of the fairway. You shouldn't have a shot of more than 120, 130 meters left up to this elevated green, with the hole cut just 5 paces from the left edge and 19 from the front. See that little shoulder there, that little mound? If you're in the left half of the fairway, you've got to fly over that to try and get it close to the hole. You keep it up the middle or the right-hand side. You can thread a little running draw around it. It's all about placement. This 15th hole, it's all about placement. Pretty much every hole you play at Gimhae Kaya. 18 birdies the 15th has yielded today, so it's playing just a shade under its par. Not really. Par's not a bad score here. Give yourself a decent chance for birdie, but don't be too disappointed putting a 4 down on your scorecard. Certainly if you're battling through these difficult conditions as these afternoon players have here on day 1 at the Nexen SaintNine Masters. The season opener, the Rent-A-Car Ladies Open, Jiangsu Yon. It's been a decent enough ball striking day, you could say that. Missed 5 fairways, but hasn't really been penalized too much for it. As the winner last week at the Medihil Championship, Park Ji-young. We'll look to start it at the second of the 2 traps up the right-hand side. That second trap should just be out of reach for Ji-young, given the damp conditions this Thursday afternoon. Lovely swing on it, and that's going to find the left half of the fairway. Lee Jung-min putting slightly across that mound, so it snaps from left to right for a birdie. Stayed fairly straight with her. It had us both fooled. Tap that one in for a par 4. Back on the tee. Jiangsu Yon doesn't go at the first of the 2 traps up the right. This one peeling off with a little draw up the left half of the fairway. So that's 2 okay tee shots from Park Ji-young and Jiangsu Yon. 16th, Seo Yun-jung for a birdie 4. Gotta hit it, Yun-jung. Oh, that was tracking. It lacked a good 1.5 foot apace. It's a very fine shot from the left edge of the fairway to here. It's for birdie. Just dives left at the hole. Beautifully done. Yoo-hae Ran, a 4th birdie of her opening round. Moves it to 4 under. 2 shots off the pace. Into that share of 5th. 6 clear of Park Min-ji. She made 1.3 billion Korean won last year, and she missed 4 cuts. That's just staggering. Only missed 3 of them by a shot. Hee Jung, who's gotten a brilliant line read from Yoo-hae Ran, pretty much identical line to her playing partners. This 2 to move to a share of 5th at 4 under. Unlucky putt for Hee Jung. Just the par. 3 under. 3 back. 3 lines of that golf ball. Triple track technology. Doesn't remind you to hit your putts hard enough, unfortunately. Out. So young to get back to level at the 16th. She too. Just coming up and out of that. A brilliant third shot. Doesn't yield a birdie, just the one birdie of her day coming back at the par 3/6. Great view in the back of the 15th green. 2 players at 2 under. And 1 at 2 over. At all 3 balls at the middle left-hand side of the fairway as the rain continues to pitter-patter down at KLPGA Golf Club this gloomy and overcast Thursday afternoon. The moisture on the ground and in the air, the dampness in the air, you're just not going to be able to get that much spin on the ball. I mean, yes, the greens are softer, the ball should stop quicker, but it's going to be that much trickier to compress the ball enough to create enough spin to fly it straight at the flag from where Park Ji-young is, as we have a look at her stats. It's been fairly solid through the first 14 holes for Ji-young. It will be Jang Soo-yeon first to play. So got 2 clubs out there. I just feel if you're in between clubs here, particularly from the left half of the fairway, you might as well just take the shorter one, give it a bit of a whack. It usually promotes a slightly flatter, sort of right to left draw, spin, ball flight. Even if it sort of strolls in the air but it lands a yard short from where she's trying to land it will kick on a downslope and get a spicy enough first kick. I think it's just a better play than to try to baby a longer club in there. Went after that. That's what I was talking about. Pitch it on the downhill slope. Releases out to the hole. Nicely worked out from Jang Soo-yeon there at 15. Park Min-ji. And she doesn't even have to aim at the hole here. Give it a good 10-15 feet right. Make a normal swing. It should naturally turn to the left. Has she overworked it? She has. Just saw on that follow through. Touch late and flippy. Still through the green. Nothing really disastrous for Min-ji. To 17 and Seo-yeon Jung. Landed front right edge. It will kick forward. When you land it on the left edge, it's going to kick away from the green for Seo-yeon Jung. Pitching straight back up the hill. Park Ji-young. Seems to be eyeing this one up. Okay. Got that to stop very quickly. Couple of great shots from Park Ji-young and Jang Soo-yeon, but Park Min-ji again off the green. No change at the top of the leaderboard. Hyo-min, Yi-bin and So-mi lead the way at 6 under par. Yu-gi-na has just picked up another birdie. Best afternoon round going. Sits 1 shot back alongside Sung Yoo-jin. Here as day 1 rolls along at the KLPGA Golf Club. ENG through the green. Here at the 15th, it's a scruffy looking lie, but there's room to play with. High or low one, a yard past the fringe. Should collect to the hole. That's nicely played from Minji. Pop that a little bit higher up than I thought, but it's all going to work out just fine for 1 billion Korean won girl. 1.3 in her 2021 efforts. 2 over par on the opening day in defense of her title. Now, makeable chip here from the left edge of the 17th for Seo Yun-jung. Straight up the hill. Oh, well back in her stance. Stab down through it and... Okay. Wow, that's just got no spin on that at all. Released on a little bit further than she was hoping for. Now, some really good looks at birdie for Park Ji-young and Jang Soo-yeon here. It's Ji-young first to putt. She'll just move to her right. And that's going to move her to 3 under par. It's been another assured performance this afternoon from Park Ji-young. Look at that, 4 birdies in her last 8 holes, 5 on the day. Moves to 3 under par. Heyran, a shot better and a hole ahead. It's her second shot to the par 5 16th. Trouble lurks up the left. And that's spot on perfect for Heyran. She's only got, say, like a little half wedge left from that spot. Back to 15, and this to follow in Park Ji-young for a birdie and to follow her to 3 under. Nicely holed from Jang Soo-yeon. They're making it look very easy. Well, 2 of them are in this featured group. Like Park Ji-young, it's a 5 birdie day for Jang Soo-yeon. They move to 3 under par alongside Lim Hee-jung. Heyran just sort of chip it up the left half of the fairway, although this one's hitting a fraction right. Okay. A nice soft bounce. But certainly isn't her best swing of the day, and that's case in point. Remember that shot she hit back on the 13th? Not up to her high standards, but still very much in play. It's been a gloomy afternoon here at Gimhae Gaya for the opening round of the Nexen SaintNine Masters. 66, the best scores of the day. 3 players on that mark and in the clubhouse. Coveted Hazi's Point Trophy. The winner of the points list here on the KLPGA Tour went to Jang Hana a couple of years ago. Choi Hye-jin bagged that honor 2 years running, and obviously with the performance that Park Min-ji had in 2021, she lifted that trophy just a couple months ago at the end of the 2021 season just passed. Can she finish strong? 3 under par, 3 holes to play, 3 off the lead with the honor on the 16th tee. Place you can't afford to go here on this par 5. It's left, but with that quick tee pickup, I don't think that's going to be a problem for Park Ji-young. Nicely placed down the middle of the fairway. Soo-yeon. Along the tee. Big hill that sort of blocks the player's view of the right half of the fairway, so it's a lot of trust here. It's a semi-blind tee shot. Pick a spot. About 20 yards up that hill. Just try and fire a driver over it. There is room there. There's that much room for Jang Soo-yeon. You see, it's a very steep slope, but has that come out of it? Oh dear. First real poor swing of the day. So while Park Min-ji gets ready to play, we'll head up to the closing hole here, the par 4 18. Two nice hits to this point. Leave Lee Yi-won with this for a round of 68. Good positive stroke, that's what we need here, Yi-won. That's more like it. It's not going to drop, but a good effort. And all things considered, a very tidy opening round of 69 for the 22-year-old. And it's a 4 under par through 10 holes, and that 3 putt at 12 just stalled any momentum she had coming in. Still a 69 leaves her just inside the top 15. Hee-jung not enamored with that layup. 153 left. Uphill second shot. Over a bunker. But that's an intelligent shot there. Carried it all the way up. Finishes on the back left edge of the green. Gives herself a chance. Try to join Yoo Hae-ran at 4 under par. But it was an excellent layup from Hae-ran. 143 left for her third. There's a little grimace. Can't see why, because that is absolutely sensational from Yoo Hae-ran. Leaves it underneath the hole, a great spot to be putting from. That'll be to get within 1 of the lead and make it 3 players at 5 under par. Very good stuff from Hae-ran. Now to the veteran in this group, Jung-min. Right old age of 27. 23 left. Just the 1 birdie and bogey on her card this afternoon. But she's given herself a chance for another birdie. Very tidy stuff from Hae-ran and Jung-min. Good birdie looks for them. An outside opportunity for Hee-jung. Now, looks like the ball did come down off the slope at 16 for Yuson. This is scary with trouble all the way up the left. Ball almost at waist height. Wants to pop up high and hook. Where has that ended up for Jang Soo-yeon? Doesn't look too concerned with it. Striding after it with her caddy. Now perfectly flat lies where we find Park Ji-young. Left-hand side out with the 3-wood. Now, this whole location, you want to be left center of the fairway. That right hand gets a bit too quick. You could be finding some trees with your second shot. Although it is a layup, still requires focus here. Yeah, good shot. Nice little tight fade. He's in excellent position to do what Yoo Hae-ran did in the group ahead. Up on the green, Hee-jung first to strike for a birdie. But like so many putting from the left edge of the green, just never really gave that a scare. First tentative putt, if you can call it that, we've seen from Lim Hee-jung in quite some time. But a 5 on this difficult 16th. Not going to be any complaints from players recording 4 5s this week. At the 16th. Back down the fairway. Second shot for Park Min-ji. fraction left, but that's fine. No problems for Minji. Where is the ball of Jiang Su-yeon finish? We'll find out in a couple of moments, because first, Lee Jong-min to get back into red figures. Oh no, just forgot to hit it. And the line. And she'll have to settle for a par 5. Level par right now places her in a share of 50th out of a field of 144. I did say earlier that players aren't going to be disappointed with 4 5s this week on the 16th, though. I think Heyran might be a little bit disappointed if she doesn't pop this one in, because it was a wonderful third shot. It was pretty much the ideal spot to be putting from. Straight up the hill. Really shouldn't have any movement, if at all. But a good positive stroke on this. See the ball hitting the back of the cup. This to get to 5 under and within 1. Now, left off the face. Just saw that. Put a face shut just as it got to the ball. So a disappointing 5 for Yu Hei-ran at 16. 2 holes remaining, 4 under the card, bogey free on the day. Now up to the 18th, and Lee So-young, who's enjoyed a walk up this green a couple years ago en route to her victory. Not enjoying this afternoon though. She's at 2 over par, and unless that one goes in, it could make dinner taste an awful lot worse for the 2018 Nexen SaintNine Masters champion. The ball is safe of Jiang Su-yeon. It's a third shot now. A long way back. Has to play for position here, try and get up and down for a par. A bit of an unlucky kick, but there's still a chance. Still a chance for Jiang Su-yeon. The problem really came from that poor tee shot. Jihan So. Yu Gi-na. Her third shot to the 15th after running into some trouble off the tee. She's got the best afternoon round going so far at 5 under par, and she's got that putt to keep it that way. Park Ji-young's third shot to 16th. Good view of what faces the players. 48 all up the hill. She's trying to work a little fade in there, and work it in there she does. That's a nice shot from Park Ji-young. Not quite as good as the effort of Heyran in the group ahead. She's going to have a good look for a birdie 4 to take her to 4. Come on, Minji. Dazzled us with so many good iron shots over the last 12 months. She could do with a couple of good ones coming in here. Get herself back into the title hunt. Oh, that is much more like it from Park Min-ji. Excellent iron shot. Leaves herself a great opportunity to find a third birdie of the day and to get her to 1 over par for the championship. She's a gritty, tenacious customer, is Park Min-ji. Yu for a par to stay at 5 under par. Just didn't look comfortable on that. So a drop shot is going to slip Gina out of that share at 5 under and into the group at 4. Good opening round so far for the 2022 rookie. Suyeon with her 4th shot. 75 left. She got it all the way there. Well, coming in with that much spin, pretty much have to fly it to where Park Min-ji's ball is to have any chance of sticking it close. This for a par at the 18th for Lee So-young. Not to be for the former champion. You do know better than 75. This opening round in 2022. 12th playing of the Nexen SaintNine Masters. Clean up here for Jin Hee. Last year, the BC Card Han Kyung Ladies Cup. And she'll open her campaign this week with a respectable 1 under par round of 71. To tidy things up for a bogey 5. Okay, drops just the 1 shot for Gina, 2nd bogey of the day. 3 holes to play. What is hopefully the final shots of the round of Lee So-young. This for a 75. Okay, it's in, but she is behind the proverbial 8 ball. The 2018 champion went out in 35, 4 bogeys, comes home in 40, opens with a 75. Now to the 17th and Heiran. Soft 5-iron. Pulls it a fraction on the front edge. No problems. Right to left swinger for a par for Jang Soo-yeon. Nope, not gonna drop. Again, just trace that back to that tee shot. It's just a poor tee shot. Leads to a 3rd bogey of the day, which will slip Soo-yeon back to 2 under par. Hee Jeong on 17. I think there should be a 6-iron for Hee Jeong. 5-iron as well. Front right of the green, it should kick down and left, just like that. That is beautifully worked out from the 4-time KLPGA champion. One of the best of the day we've seen at the 17th. Now Park Ji-young to get to 4 under par. Oh, it just, you could just see that. A 1.5 foot out. Turn the indicators on. It looked like someone kicked it straight right across the face. Unlucky. Chance goes a-begging for Ji-young at the 16th. Park Min-ji. Feel this is going to be big for the confidence here. Walk away on a tough hole like 16 with a birdie. Try to build some momentum heading into tomorrow. Again, these players you're watching this afternoon, they get to go out in the early wave tomorrow morning where conditions are forecast to be a little bit better. It's going to be a little softer from the rain that we had pretty much all throughout this opening round. Chance to post a number, but it all starts here. Still moves a bit here. She's powered a couple of putts through the break. There should be no more than outside right edge. Yeah, confidently walks it in. Shades of the player that lifted 6 trophies in the 2021 season. Park Min-ji collects a third birdie of the day, climbs to 1 over par. Let's see how the field has got on the par 3 17th today. Yielded 14 birdies. Haven't seen any doubles. Maybe the best way to attack the 17th. Pitch it on the front right edge. Especially with the whole location today. Everything sort of kicks around. You can end up where Lim Hee-jung is. This for a 2. Oh, that is a delightful birdie 2 at the 17th. And it's a birdie that takes Lim Hee-jung to 4 under par. Within 2 of the lead, like Heyran, bogey free today. It's all smiles for the 21-year-old Lim Hee-jung. To say Heyran's bogey free, I'm fairly certain this little tiddler shouldn't cause Heyran any issues. It's nice to end the year with a victory, which she did. Athletic faction, SK Telecom Open. Along with the victory at the Chosun Celebrity Pro-Am in 2021. So a par keeps her, like Hee-jung, 4 under par and bogey free. The 2 very classy players. No real surprise to see them in the positions they're in through 17 holes. The opening day at Kim Hae-gaya. The rain, well, it's abated slightly. It's still just trickling down on the players, but there shouldn't be any moisture on the ball here of Lee Jung-min, who has this for a par. Okay, no problems. No par. No progress made, but no ground lost for Lee Jung-min. Tapping down those spike marks. You are allowed to do them in the last couple of years. Very popular change in the rules of golf, but always nice to fix your own spike marks. Keep the course in good condition, in fair condition for your other competitors on the course. So with Jung-min safely vacating the back of the 17th green, we'll head back to the tee. Park Min-ji. She'll have to look not only at the front edge of the green, but you have to think the right edge of the green, at least for a start line. The ball coming in with a touch of draw spin on it, it's just going to release out a little bit more than most of the players in this field. She hits the exact same shot that Hee-jung did, and pitches at the same spot. It's going to release on a good 10 yards past where Hee-jung's ended up. It's a tempting looking hole location. Just killed it in the front fringe. Touch unlucky for Park Min-ji, but a birdie opportunity awaits. She's one of the rare few KLPGA professionals who actually likes to hit a little fade with her irons. She's setting up right here with the 6. Turn this one off the right edge of the green. We saw Hee-jung and Heyran, they're big hitters in the group, hit 5 iron. Probably poor club selection. Ji-young. Scrambling boots on. How does Soo-yeon respond to that shot at the last? 6 iron. He's actually really trying to step on that. I'm afraid she's hung that out to the right. Curious club selections from Park Ji-young and Jang Soo-yeon leave them short. The 17th. Some work to do to save pars. Park Min-ji, off her birdie at 16, has given herself an outside chance at back-to-back red numbers after finding the 17th green comfortably. And that's the state of affairs at the business end of the leaderboard. Hyo-min, Yevin, and Somi lead the way. It's 3 tied at 6 under par. lovely little pitch left for Jang Soo-yeon. Sloping away from her, only has to get this under the fringe and it should release on down to the hole and move to her left. Go, settle down, settle down. Yeah, not bad. We're throwing that a little bit higher up, closer to the right fringe, but a chance to avoid back-to-back drop shots up to the 18th and Lim Hee-jung. Looks like a pretty much dead straight par 4, but you want to be just on the left edge of the fairway, trying to open up that green. That's up the middle with a nice little cut. Part one of the equation done at the home hole for Hee-jung. Young. Slightly easier pitch from this angle. And doing slightly better than Jang Soo-yeon. Just got caught up in the fairway grass a touch. Soo-yeon has work to do for a par. To the 18th and just off the fringe of the green. Ga Young is for a par moments ago. Disappointing. And then all the way to 3 under par round the turn. Should pop that one in for. Be disappointing. 72, back on the tee. He run with driver. Starting a little bit further right than Hee-jung's. And roping around enough. Where is it finished for? May run. We'll find out soon enough. Now, ENG for 2 in a row on 17. Never up, never in. Frustration. And frustrating. Day 1 for Park Min-ji. Still over par. 18th to play. Remember when she won 12 months ago? She was sat back, feet up in the clubhouse. Jang Han a bogey the final 2 holes to drop into that playoff with Min-ji. Now Oh Ji-hyun, this would be a nice way to close out the day. All pars since that birdie at 15. This from 30 feet at the last. Oh, gave it a scare. But it'll be a 1 over par round of 73 for Oh Ji-hyun. Par putt for Soo-yeon. Positive. Yeah, well done. That's a good momentum saver there for Jang Soo-yeon. Certainly don't want to drop back-to-back shots towards the end of your round. She stays at 2 under. A share of 20th right now. Ga Young for a level par round of 72. Okay, it's a bogey at the last. Best score in her group, but look at that finish. 3 bogeys in her final 5 holes en route to that level par opening round. Ji Han-sol, you see there, signed for a 2 over par round of 74. Now, Hee-jung, middle of the fairway, good angle to attack. Just let peel a little fade in there. Okay. Not what you'd call threatening the hole, but a chance. 4 under, bogey free. Not put a foot wrong all afternoon. Same could be said for this lady, who too is bogey-free and 4 under the card, although just a couple yards closer into this last. 126 for Hayran. Oh, and as she did at 16, that is brilliantly done for Big U Hayran. That'll be for a 67. And the low round of the afternoon wave. Pair of them combined at 8 under par, and what undoubtedly has been the tougher of the 2 sessions here on the opening day. Ji Young back at 17. It's for a par. Okay, well done. That's a nice up and down from Park Ji Young and Jang Soo Yeon. They'll match Park Min Ji's par 3. Head to the 18th tee, as they were back on the 17th tee. Well, the tough, dribbly conditions have persisted throughout the entire course of the afternoon. Not that it's going to bother the likes of Jeon Hyo Min, So Yi Bin, and Lee So Mi, who are enjoying the view at the top. It's 3 players who lead the way in a share at 6 under par here on day 1 of the Nexen SaintNine Masters. ENG, that green side trap. That's a start line. Ooh, dear. That looked a bit toey. And it's gonna get a very fortuitous kick. Goodness, that looked a bit dicey. But it's fine now for Minji. It's one of those days where you want to go to the range and hit some balls and try to iron out the kinks in what has been not her sharpest performance on the golf course in the last 18 months. With these conditions, you almost want to just kick back in the clubhouse with a hot bowl of soup and a cup of tea. Having said that, 1.3 billion Korean won buys you more than a couple cups of tea. Park Ji Young. Side of the fairway. She too, like Minji, tugs it left, but she doesn't get a good break. And oh no, that's gotten even worse. That ball has finished in a recently raked part of the bunker, so it's going to be fluffy as sand, not quite as compacted. Take a very good shot to get on the putting surface from there for Park Ji Young. So. Just a little spot of bother at the last for Ji Young. Soo Young. Hey. Threads one down the middle of the fairway. Good tee shot for the winner of the season opener on Jeju Island. To the green, and Lim Hee Jong for a 5th and final birdie of her opening round. Gotta hit it. Gotta hit it. Oh. Well, there was nothing bad about that effort. Certainly nothing bad about an opening round of 68. Battled through some tough conditions this afternoon, did Lim Hee Jong. Out in 34, home in 34. Tops up to a round of 68, which leaves her inside the top 5. Getting into Friday's second round is Yugina Jang Yun So. 17. Together She's at 2 under, playing alongside Yugina. Oh, hello. Hello. Oh, just get a feeling of that. If she'd hit that in the morning, that might have had a chance. Just the softer afternoon conditions slowing up that ball a fraction. Lee Jong-min at the closing hole. This for birdie to end the day at 1 under par. just the one birdie and the one bogey in her opening round. Such are the standards that we hold Jungmin to, that feels a bit ho-hum. Heyran, what a different player she's been since 12 months ago. Struggled at this golf course, en route to comfortably missing the cut at the 2021 edition of the Nexen SaintNine Masters. The same player has this for a birdie at the 18th after a brilliant second shot to get to 5 under into a share of 4th. Like the putt she had on 16, fairly straight, not too much movement. Put a positive stroke on it. Okay. Grabs a piece of the cup, spins around, drops in. 3 birdies to end her outward half. It's a birdie to close on the 18th in a round of 67 for Yu Hei-ran. Perfectly poised after the opening round here at the Nexen SaintNine Masters. Jungmin, this to clean up for a 72. Okay, nicely done. So level par for Lee Jungmin. That's going to feel like an 82 playing alongside Lim Hee-jung and Yu Hei-ran this afternoon. The 3 of them will go out again tomorrow morning at around 8 o'clock local time. Their second round. This is now Yu Gi-na, who's just dropped another shot. So she's back 3 under. This one's eating a fraction, right? Gets a nice kick. Yeah, that could have stuck short of the green. You take the good break there. Of back-to-back bogeys is Gi-na. The curse of the TV camera, as we call it. Anytime we show up to start watching some players skate around, start dropping shots. But they're getting a move on. Now up to the last, and just see that really indifferent lie for Park Ji-young. Ball sitting down slightly in some fluffy sand. Contact is key here. Pick it cleanly and look like it was a fraction heavy. Oh, she did well. Got it onto the front edge of the green. Has done very well. You look at that. Goodness me. That's... cannot begin to tell you what a good shot that was from an awkward little lie. Fluffy, wet sand. Didn't even look at the pin. She's given herself a great chance for a closing birdie. Now, middle of the fairway, perfect lie for Jang Soo-yeon. 131 left. Oh, that's a bit unlucky. Takes a big kick to the left. And she'll be putting from, we saw Lim Hee-jung in the group ahead. Swing back out to 15, and that's the opportunity for Bae So-hyun to get to 3 under. Well done. That's nicely done. 4th birdie of her opening round. Lone blemish coming back on 11. Bae So-hyun gets it into the group at 3 under. Good enough for a share 12th right now. Park Min-ji, a couple shots further back. Just coming out of that first cut of rough. Whoa, hands off the club. I don't know why. It was Hideki Matsuyama-esque from Park Min-ji there. Did not seem thrilled with it. She leaves herself in a very good spot on the 18th green to try to salvage a level par round of 72 from what has been an indifferent start to her title defense. In the rain and humidity this Thursday afternoon west of Busan. Now got a good break with that tee shot for Yu Gi-na. To her left, so hard to convince herself to hit it high enough. bad. Stops the bleeding. Drop shots in 15 and 16. Drop shot here on 17. That's a solid par 3. Tee shot has left Jiang and Su. And this to join Gina at 3 under par. She would have seen what Gina's putt did at the hole. And just snaps left when it starts to lose its speed. So just has to make sure she keeps that putter head accelerating through the impact zone. Doesn't move quite as much from right to left as Gina's. And it's a beautiful 2. But Su is bogey free. She's lurking on the fringes of the top 10. Nicely played. 32 at 17 takes her to 3 under par. But the round of the afternoon comes from Yuhei Ran, the 4-time titleist in the KLPGA Tour, posts a 5 under par 67 to be one back of the 3 currently leading here on day 1 at the Nexen SaintNine Masters. As opening round coverage here at the Nexen SaintNine Masters winds down from Gimhae Gayab. Jang Soo-yeon trying to find what would have only been the 6th birdie of the day at the 18th hole. Not to be for Soo-yeon. She'll have that for a round of 2 under par 70. Certainly commendable. Conditions. Here's Kim Ji-soo going along nicely at 2 under as well. Tee shot to the 17th. She likes it. Oh, yes. It's a nice kick off that seldom used shoulder on the front left edge. It sets her up with the uphill putt for birdie. 17th. Ji-young for a closing 3. Nope, not going to be up there. Not high enough for Park Ji-young. Well, 69, a solid way to open her campaign this week. It's going to be an 8 straight round under par. 9 rounds played so far in 2022. That's good going for Park Ji-young. Last week's winner, off to a good start. Last year's winner has this for a level par round of 72. Well, she gave it a run. That certainly wasn't the right line for Park Min-ji, who might have to get Jang Soo-yeon to move that marker. She will. Bit of brushing up to do for a 73. Right now, 1 over par would leave her in a share of 63rd, which would not be good enough to make the halfway cut. Low 60 professionals and ties make it through to the weekend. Of course, Min-ji still has 18 holes to play. And she will start Friday at 1 over par, 7 shots back, an opening 73. For the defending champion. Just never really looked like she got off the mark today. It was 1 under par through the first couple, bogeys at 8 and 9. Sort of derailed. Her challenger was never really able to get anything going, any sort of momentum going. Jang Soo-yeon. Replaced her marker, so this for a par 4. Okay, no mistakes, not going to add to that 6% 3-putt total that she's had this year. Colourful day, and a round of 2 under par 70 leaves her inside the top 25. Through 1 round. shot to the closing hole here for Zhang Yunsu. Only 6 players, only 5 players. Beg your pardon, birdied 18 so far on day 1. And, unless that putter does something miraculous from there, for Zhang Yunsu, it might stay at that number. Bogey free today, going along nicely at 3 under. Although this, for Kim Ji-soo, back on 17, is to get to 3 under par. It's going to be a very crowded total if this one goes in. Oh, I think the reaction told us the story. Couldn't see the hole with the caddy in the way, but good tee shot, doesn't yield a 3. Doesn't yield a 2, I should say. She'll settle for a 3 to remain at 2. Up to the 18th. The second shot of going. Oh, just a touch unlucky there. Hung up in the sticky fairway grass. That got another kick on. It would have scampered on a couple more feet towards the pin for Yuki Na. Third player in this group, Kim Yun Kyo. That was Kim Yun Kyo earlier. This is Yuki Na. Oh, and that's more like it. That is in Yuhei Ran territory, and that's going to be for a closing birdie. Remember, had it to 5 under par with 4 holes to play. Drop shots at 15 and 16. Made a great up and down back at 17, and she's got that for a birdie at the 18th, which would take her to 4 under. So it's been a nice little comeback here for Yuki Na, but no change at the top. Yuhei Ran, the only player really threatening, and Lim Hee-jung, the trio at the top at 6 under par. Yun. 103 left here. Get a great wedge shot into 15 to set up her birdie. And she's off the mark there. And it's quite a wide miss for a professional golfer from only 103 meters. Just on the fringe. Figure par at worst from there for Bay. I think that expression says it all. She was expecting much better. Kim Yun Kyo coming up just a touch shy. Oh, she can do no better than a round of 2 over past 74 should that one drop for Kim. Thankfully for Dina and Yinso and company, the rain has lightened up. It's actually quite pleasant now. It'll be real pleasant if Yinso can roll this 45-footer in at the last. It's tracking, but it's not going to get there. So sticky, these surfaces. We head towards the end of the day here in Gimhae. She can do no better than a 69. 16 and Bay for her birdie. Big swing from right to left. Almost across a hill here rather than straight down it. Really never got the measure of the break on that. this would be, as I mentioned, for only the 6th birdie of the day on this challenging closing par 4 18th. But it would be a birdie, should she hold it, that'll take her into the top 10. Into a share of 6th at 4 under par with some very good players in the form of Lee Jong and Park Hyun Kyung, Yuki Na, the rookie, trying to make the most of this 3rd start of the year. Oh, just a fraction left off the putter face. It's not going to be a grandstand finish, but it's going to be a rock-solid opening round of 69 for Yoon-gi Na. You see there, it was 5 under par standing on 15T, but a couple of late bogeys, a bit like Lee Ga-young and Lee Jung-min, just wasn't able to continue that momentum across the line. Still, if you told her you'd give her a 69 on a scorecard at the start of the day, there's a pretty good chance she would have taken it. Same can be said for Jang Eun-soo, who, well, is this, well, you would say a straightforward putt, but it's not exactly a gimme or a 69 of her own. Players have played in very good pace on the opening day at the Nexen SaintNine Masters. It's good to see. Well done. Good 2-putt. Opening round a 3 under par for Jang Eun-soo. And more importantly, a bogey-free opening round of 69. The clouds have finally parted a bit. It's nice to see that beautiful sunset. With play winding down, let's get to some highlights from your leading pack. And, well, Lee So-mi made a long trip from Hawaii, where she played the Lotte Championship and the LPGA Tour. She made a great run around the turn. Eagle at 3, birdie at 4. Point got her to 5 under par for the former Lotte Rent-A-Car Ladies Open champion. She wasn't done just yet. This at the par 4 5th, rolling that one in. It was a bogey-free 66 for Lee So-mi to open her account here at Gimhae Gaya. And as she always does, big smile on the face of Lee So-mi. Wouldn't you be? You shot 66 on day 1. Park Hyun Kyung will have eyes on the KLPGA Championship next week, where she's looking to make it a hat-trick of titles. Wasn't too far off from an ace there at the par 4. Hyun Kyung, the 4-time champion on the KLPGA Tour, signing for an opening round of 68. See if this fine putt at her final hole of the day. One drop shot of her round coming back at the 8th. You see her now. Feature group coverage for day 2 tomorrow afternoon. Then the weather turned nasty as the afternoon starters got underway. But don't tell Park Ji-young that. Her putter was fired up here at the 8th. Caught a piece of the hole, dropped in. That took Park Ji-young back to level par with the 2nd birdie of the day. Hee-jung, as she did for all of her professional career so far, just chipping away, methodically plodding away at the lead. That was a birdie at the 9th and an outward half of 34 for the 21-year-old. Park Ji-young hit a mammoth drive on the 11th, caught the fast track down the fairway and really took advantage with this sensational wedge shot from close range, setting up the simplest of tap-in birdie threes. Yoo-hae Ran posted the best score of the afternoon wave, courtesy of putts like this on the 15th, set up by a wonderful approach from the left-hand side of the fairway. Got that putt in to get her to 4 under par at that stage. But she wasn't done just yet. More on that in a minute, because Lim Hee-jung playing alongside Yu Hei-ran. It's one of the best shots we saw into 17 all day. A 5-iron from the former winner of the KB Star Financial Group Championship in her rookie season, working the slopes to perfection, setting up a birdie too that would take her alongside Yu Hei-ran at 4 under par. And mind you, the pair of them were both bogey-free here on day one at Kim Hae-gaya, and you saw the conditions earlier on. I mean, they were brutal. That is no mean feat. Of course, we talked about Hei-ran. It was a wonderful second shot into this spot, and she made only the 5th birdie of the day at the closing par 4. A round of 67, a bogey-free display, a far cry from the performance she put in 12 months ago here at the Nexen SaintNine Masters. She'll start Friday at 5 under par, courtesy of that 67 alongside Sung Yu Jin. But it's Jeon Hyo-min, Sun Yi-bin, and Lee So-mi's 66ers that set the pace through one round here at the Nexen SaintNine Masters, the 3rd event on the 2022 KLPGA Tour schedule. So much to look forward to as you go down this leaderboard. Min Song, he factored quite a bit last year. Yu Gi-na and Jang Yun-soo played together. 69s for them. Bae So-hyun, well, just a couple of holes left. She's at 3 under par. Jang Ha-na, we'll see her in tomorrow afternoon's featured coverage. Kim Min-sun, 5, is a former winner here. Kim Ji-soo with just the 18th to play, also that 2 under par mark in a share of 23rd right now. Ma Da-som, well, battled hard, put together a very tidy back 9. He signs for a 71 as does Im Jin-hee, winner of the BC Card Han Kyung Ladies Cup in 2021.